What's going on? DJ Hazmat here,
Yeah, and I'm Matty Wills.
and welcome to the post-game edition of the Matt and Matt Sports Show. Victory!
Yeah, by the skin of our teeth on that
Yeah,
one,
well,
big dog.
I really don't know what happened in the second half. We escaped.
Aren't you at the game? Oh, okay. I'm about
We
to say.
narrowly escaped with a
Yeah,
victory, and of course, I'm happy, but I'm concerned at the same time. But I don't
yeah.
want to rain on no parade. We won. We're 7-6. We beat the Ravens. So, yeah. I'm ready to go. What you think? Give me the stats. Tell
We
me what the
we
stats was.
we beat the Ravens. Baker Mayfield had a stellar first half, had a pedestrian second half, finished 22 of 32, 5.9 yards as an average. Did throw 2 touchdowns early, threw 1 pick. Lamar Jackson obviously went out in the first quarter, but Tyler Huntley came in, an undrafted player, 27 of 38, threw almost 40 passes today, for 270 yards, 1 touchdown, no interceptions. Some would even say that he outplayed Baker Mayfield, but that's another story for another day. Nick Chubb, 17 carries for 59 yards. Kareem Hunt, only 2 carries for 5 yards. I don't know if you saw in the stadium, but he pulled up lame early in that game when he took a big hit off of a pass catch on one of those touchdown drives. So I'm sure that has something to do with his availability and his playing time for the rest of the game. But hey, you said it has. We won the game. We won the game. It was a necessary game to win if we want to stay in the playoff hunt. I mean, the division, honestly, is still up for grabs at this point. So big win by the Browns. Congratulations. Dakar Victoria says that was ugly, but I'll take it. And I definitely agree with that 100%.
I mean, it was pretty, and then it was ugly. It was
Yeah,
like, I just like, we scored no points in the
zero.
second half. That was just, that's incredible to me. And then our field goal kicker seems to be getting worse and
Yeah,
worse as the year goes on. I don't know. It's just concerning. You want to be happy about a win, of course, but to
yeah.
sit there and watch that whole second half and watch the Ravens inch back into this game with the backup band, it's just like, come on, man, coaches. And I was thinking, like, when you're up by a significant amount, why are we run the ball? Why are we
Yeah,
still play action passing? We're up by 17 points. Situations like that where, like even when Baker threw the ball out of bounds on one of those 3-and-out drives we had in the second half, I was like, I would have rather you took a sack. At least that would have
yeah.
got the clock moving.
Run that
It's like,
clock.
what are you throwing the ball out of bounds for? Take a sack.
Yeah.
Just little stuff like that happens in games. It's like, there's no way. And with Tucker as the field goal kicker, I was sitting up here in the stands like, we need to put another score on the board to put this out of reach.
Listen,
Because
the Browns, we caught a break in that when they scored their touchdown, they went for 2 and missed it. If they would have kicked the extra point, they would have been down 8 points, a 1-possession game instead of a 2-possession game, and they wouldn't have even needed the magic of the onside kick, which was Cardiac Kids-esque in that, how do we botch the onside kick that badly, bro? I at that point, I just thought we were going to lose the game. But here's what happened for the offense in the second half of this football game. Punt, missed field goal, punt, and then we got the ball back and we're able to sit on the clock at the end of the game. So not a lot of points in the second half. Well, not any points in the second half for the Browns, but
no points.
Baltimore made it a game. And hey, they've been in the playoffs these past few years. You famously lament that Lamar only has 1 playoff victory, but they go to the playoffs consistently. They're a good football team, and they made you know they were a good football team in that fourth quarter, especially considering the fact that they're down so many players at key positions. This game the Browns were supposed to win this game. Humphrey didn't play. They got injuries all over the field. Lamar Jackson goes out early. The Browns were supposed to win. So even though we only won by 2 and it didn't look great, we're going to have to accept it. It is what it is. I'll pull up the standings, but what you thinking, bro?
I mean, a win is a win at the end of the day. I would have loved for it to be a blowout. It'll make the song better. You know what I'm saying? I would have loved to be making a recap song about a complete whooping of the Ravens' ass, and that's what it seemed like it was headed towards. But a win is a win, man. We're in this thing, 7-6. The Bengals are what? 7-4.
Bengals are 7-5. They play the San Francisco 49ers right now. I don't know how to call that game. Cincinnati's getting 2.5. I've bet Cincinnati and I've bet the Niners in that game just because I don't know what's going to happen. But if Cincinnati loses that game, they're at home against the Niners, they'll be 7-6, but the Browns would have the tiebreaker because we beat them in the one matchup that we've had already this year. So we would jump them and be in second place in the AFC North, just one game back on Baltimore, of course, with the split there. And here's an interesting note, Baltimore's division record is 1-3. 1-3. So if they get into any tiebreaker situations with any division foes, including the Browns, then, right now we have the tiebreaker over Baltimore because our division record is 2-2 while theirs is 1-3. So that was a big game for the Browns. That was a big game for the Browns regardless. What's up, PJ? We see you. Michelle Ward, Oliver, Twan, my dog. Say he about to smash this 40. Twan's a Ravens fan. So he was he thought that I was coming at him when Lamar went down because I sent him a message, but I wasn't celebrating Lamar going down, for the record. I don't want to, we don't celebrate injuries, but it is what it is. I'm glad the Browns won.
The way their backup played, I would have rather Lamar stayed in the game, to be honest.
Yeah.
I mean, because Lamar's been playing terrible for the past month. So.
Especially passing the ball, yeah.
I mean, we picked Lamar off 4 times the last time we saw him, so I wasn't necessarily concerned about Lamar Jackson. The only thing you're concerned about him is if he takes off running. I'm not really concerned with his passing ability at this point. So
he's definitely struggling right now.
Right. And so, I mean, I guess there'll be another day for a Baker Mayfield conversation. We were
hey, we can both make arguments after this game. We can both make arguments after this game because the first half I couldn't say nothing. That second half, I haven't seen his numbers for quarter 2 and quarter 3, but we didn't score, and he should have at least scored 3. Field goal kicker missed, so we'll give him that. But I mean, 3 points in the second half of a football game when you're trying to fight for the playoffs ain't gonna get it done. It's just not gonna get it done.
Okay, but not just Baker Mayfield fighting for points. It's the coaches. Play calling, everything that what is the game plan when you're up 24-6 at halftime?
Baltimore's defense turned up too in that second half. It's not like the Browns just went out there and stopped playing. Baltimore's defense, they were bringing pressure. They were in guys' face a whole lot more than they were in the first half. So it's not just like we're playing against air. We're playing against the team, and the other team did a good job. So kudos to them. But Browns winners. 24-22, man. So what's the vibe like down there? I know I was thinking, when I hopped on, I'm like, if these Browns lose, Haz might not be able to do a show. It might be a riot in First Energy Stadium, man. They might storm the field.
The sigh of relief. We all were sitting there getting a little tight towards the end, thinking, oh God, here we go. Why do we always gotta Why does it always have to be this way? Why can't we just convincingly beat a team? I mean, we did it against Cincinnati. It's just like when you got a team against the ropes, finish them off. But, it is what it is. They're going to have to clean up some things about how they approach the second half of games. And I hope Kevin Stefanski looks at the film and comes up with a better game plan. I mean, who we got next? The Raiders? No. Not the Raiders next, is it?
I'm pulling up the schedule as we speak, and next week we play the Raiders. Good call on that. We are at home, afternoon game, 4:30. So our production staff take note of that. But then after that, we got the Packers on Christmas Day, then the Steelers and the Bengals to finish out the season. And I like our chances against both of those teams. And the Raiders got beat up today by the Kansas City Chiefs. I mean, beat down. So I
can't wait to see what my
game next
fantasy
week.
Quarterback did in there. I haven't checked my fantasy stats. I've been trying to stay off my phone. I got them to let me charge it behind the bar in here, and now I'm at low battery again. So
Well,
I'm just
we
glad
got
I
it
was able
in.
to last for this half
Yeah,
game post game. Yeah.
we got it
So I
in,
mean,
man. You had enough juice.
that's what's up. That's what's up.
Here's
So
a
thank
comment
you,
for you. Michael Gibson says Stefanski needs to put his ego and arrogance aside and give up play calling. I got another person on the Browns who I can say needs to put their ego and arrogance to the side. But yeah, I would agree that
I bought the Jordans from Cleveland.
that
Somebody asked me
Stefanski
about my shoes,
is
but I paid
okay.
the check.
You tell him we're doing a live show.
He
I'm
want to
not
know
going to
where I
steal
got
Hazard's
these.
take.
He want to know where I got these. You know, I had to customize my own little J's. You know what I'm saying? So I've been getting a lot
how
of
much you gonna
compliments on that.
charge him? You just took an order?
He wanted to know. He walked up with food all in his beard, like.
Hey, Jamal said
"Where you
those
get
are fire, bro, in the private chat. He said those are fire with exclamation points and all caps. So he means that for real.
Thank you. I appreciate it. And I customized them myself. So good job on my part. I'm gonna do an all white pair of Air Force Ones next. We're gonna do that next.
Mike
if you want
says,
me to customize your shoes, get at me.
There you go. Rest assured, we will hear they were rusty and getting their footing after the off week. The excuses they use are better. I don't know if you ever listen to Stefanski's press conferences after these games. He literally says the same thing after a win and the same thing after a loss. He just says that they'll get better. When we lose, they got to do better. I'm sure we'll hear them say that about the second half. There'll be lots of questions about the second half of this football game, and I'm sure that he'll say that as a staff, we have to get better. So at this point, whatever. Hey, if the Browns can beat the Raiders next week, we're in good position, bro. Like, we'll be making ourselves be in good position for either the division or the wild card at that point. We'll be 2 over 500. There's a lot of parity in the league this year in terms of the powerhouse teams ain't so powerhousey, especially over here in the AFC. So it is what it is, man. It is what it is. What y'all about to get into? Y'all about to go do some drinking?
I got to get back to my car. Look, there's a Ravens fan. So. Hey.
Heads down.
Hey, how y'all doing?
Hey, man, don't get in no ruckus down there, man. I mean, we can use the views, but I'm just saying.
I'm always the jovial adversary, man. I've mastered the art of, friendly banter.
All right.
I've learned my lesson because they got jail cells in the bottom of stadiums, and I don't ever want to go
there
again.
Wow. All right. Well, we'll tell that story on here another day, man. So
right.
But next week
I'm gonna jump off, man.
Yeah, do your thing. Do your thing.
Yeah.
Next week, go Browns.
Yeah.
Next week, we got the Raiders. We're at home again. We win that game. We're in really good shape. So go Browns, man. And shouts out to Myles Garrett. I think he would get the game ball today. No?
Yeah. He got some tackles today. He didn't just get a sack and no tackle.
Yeah. And he scored a touchdown. So it is what it is, man. Hey, go kick it, Has. Go celebrate. I'm going to play Call of Duty and enjoy my last week before 2 weeks of PTO. So I'm going to holler at you, man. We appreciate everybody.
I'm on PTO. So
there you go.
Next Monday.
I'll
see y'all. All right.
Hey,
Matt Sports. I'm DJ Has Matt.
Yeah, and I'm Matty Wills. We'll see y'all next week.
Victory.